In 2018, the HotNow team has been very busy ensuring that Hot Token is fully functional and fully integrated into the HotNow ecosystem. And now, in 2019, we are taking a leap forward to make sure that Hot Token will have global appeal and increase the global demand for the token itself. The team has been working very hard to build the functionalities and the feature to allow the game developers and game community to plug in their products and their services onto the Hot Token network to exploit the Hot Tokens. Today, I will be representing the game developers and take you to have a chat with our developers in the HotNow team to try to find out what they have been working on. And I think you would be as excited as I am. Hot Token is a very ambitious project. Many things and a lot of components need to be created and come together for us to realize these visions. The HotNow team has been very hard at work to create a total of 7 initiative projects. And one initiative that is so crucial to the success of this whole thing is called HotPlay. HotPlay will allow developers to monetize and exploit the in-game real estate, while also allowing advertisers to gain exposure to gamers, which right now representing more than 1/3 of the global populations. Today, I will have you talk to If, our main developer for the HotPlay project, and take you through the details of what this project is all about. So if you can share with us in your own word, what is HotPlay to you?
The HotPlay is the new ads media that embedded ads and promotion inside the game. It's much like a product placement in the movie, except in the game is highly interactive. Therefore, it provides higher conversion for the ad buy.
So you're talking that you think that this advertising space is providing the game could get a better reaction from the player and that lead to the actual sale for the ad buyers.
Yes.
So how does it work for the game developers?
We provide the plugin for the Unity and Unreal developer to create any kind of the in-game aspects and interactive object that they want to allow the advertiser to band this with marketing message. HotPlay act like an agency to find the advertiser who want to put their ads on the object. This creates the new income for the game companies.
You keep saying object. What kind of object precisely are we talking about? Is it just a 2D cut screen billboard or traditional video ads that we're already seeing in the games?
It's the actual 3D in the game. It's like a billboard on the side of the building in the game, or the drinking bottle, or the can, or the special item for a campaign, or anything that's defined by Unity and Unreal platform.
So if the game developer want this object to be interactive to the player, they can define that too?
Yes.
Now you're getting my attention as a game developer. I would be curious to know that if I were to plug onto this HotPlay platform as a game developer, what do I need to do to integrate?
First, the game developer have to create the aspect object and put their object in a Unity editor to create the aspect in the game. And the advertiser can brand this item on our ad buy website, and then advertiser can define the campaign parameter and the budget on this campaign. When the player starts the session, the game will require the texture from our service to show in the game. And when the player see the ads, the game will send notification to the ad tracking service to record it, and the game developer can check the revenue for the real time in our website.
In theory, it all sounds really, really good, but coming from the game developer perspective, I must say that being a game developer, we are normally very particular in the way that the game are being perceived by the players. And we don't want to destroy the look or the theme of the game by throwing a bunch of advertising in our game. Mm-hmm. But in this case, why do you think that the players would want to see this type of ads in the game?
Existing in-game advertising is so disrupting and it will give no real-world reward. For HotPlay, you will receive the real world rewards and promotion that you can sell it in our market and you can earn the real income.
Okay, now I think that's pretty awesome because I think it's lent itself to a pretty massive adoption right there. Now, Kirit, you're the man in charge of our asset inventory system. What type of asset are we dealing with here?
Well, any sorts of assets that can appear in games, all digital assets. So we're talking about themed skins, cosmetic skins, crafted items, any sorts of player rewards, and of course all of the in-game currencies.
And how exactly is it being tracked?
We track all the items by serial number, and for the currencies we track them using a full financial accounting system.
So, that sounds good and all, but it still doesn't feel too much different than any other typical tracking system out there. What is really so special about it?
Well, the sorts of things that we make very, very easy are to make transactions between players within games much simpler. We also manage transactions between players playing different games and between the game developer into games. So, for example, if you have an ecosystem of games, you can promote your new games by giving a reward in one that is redeemed in another. Or if you have other games that you partner with, you can cross-promote.
Okay, now that sounds pretty cool. But being a game developer, and I own quite a few studios, and I'm sure developers out there probably have the same questions. Why wouldn't I just go ahead and build one myself?
Well, first of all, why would you want to spend the time doing that when you can make use of ours? And also, these sorts of systems can be quite tricky to get exactly right, to make sure that the goods actually transfer on receipt of the correct payments, to make sure that you don't issue currencies more than once to players. We are using a system that currently tracks 5 million transactions a day for 1 million packages daily throughout Southeast Asia. And it holds and tracks at any given time about $1 billion of money payments for all of those packages.
Oh, gotta admit that sounds pretty impressive now. You did mention the marketplace. What type of marketplace is it?
Right, so when we think about marketplaces, we think about things like stock exchanges and mercantile exchanges and Forex. And we handle all of those sorts of things for the game developers in ways that are relevant to the games and provide a mechanism for the game developer themselves to actually make some money on taxation of the payments that flow into and between the game.
So this is like an in-game marketplace?
Yes. And what we do is we provide you, the game developer, with the back end. And then you can make use of that in whatever way that you want to provide a relevant game experience to your players.
So the developer is in total full control of the display and the front end?
Yes.
Is this limited to just in-game?
Of course, it can be used between games. And we also have our HotNow mobile app, which players can then redeem coupons in the real world with.
And with all this linkage, how are the transactions being done? So how do people pay for these services in the system?
Well, so players can pay using any of the in-game currencies, and they can also use our hot cryptocurrency.
So if the developer prefer, they can just integrate hot token into this whole thing and transact with just HOT.
Indeed, and this is a great way for game developers to start getting some exposure and learning some knowledge about cryptocurrencies and how they work and how they can be used in a game setting.
But what would be the advantage of using hot token instead of just keep taking the fiat currency like they've already been doing?
Well, so one of the main things, of course, is that the game developer is in charge of the taxation system on the platform. And they're not going to charge themselves 30%.
Well, avoiding the 30% would be something that game developer would love. Thank you, man.
Yeah.
So Tân, share with us, what is so special about this single sign-on feature and what does it provide for the game developers?
Okay, so the single sign-on is a service that we provide the authentication and authorization to Hot ecosystem. So as a game developer, you don't have to worry about any liability like a solid password, and you also have the instant access to authorized Hot users. For the game player side, it will provide much more smoother user experience.
That sounds really, really good. But I gotta say that it's very scary. Every time I try to plug into a third-party platform, there's always some issue and difficulties when it comes to integrations. What have you done to help provide for us, game developer, to easily integrate to this platform?
Yep, okay. So we put a lot of effort into the SDKs that you can integrate we provide in many languages like Unity, Unreal, JavaScript, and even the RESTful APIs. So you choose how you want to integrate with us.
That's not really flexible. What are all the technology that you use to implement all this?
Actually, we try to stick with the internet standard, but we put a lot of effort into infrastructure and security to ensure that you will get the best experience from integrating with us.
Ah. Okay, and as far as I recall, you were the guys who wrote the hot token contract. So maybe you want to share with the community a little bit how you felt about it working on such project, and what exactly are you working on regarding that aspect right now?
Okay, yeah, I did it. The project was fun and challenging, but we found that integrating with the blockchain is much more harder and time-consuming than we anticipated. So we ended up developing our own platform. The integration is far more easier and simpler than do it by yourself. So you can start integrate your game with us and use the blockchain technology inside it right away. And you even have be able to take a cut from the transaction that happen in your game.
You're talking particularly about if a third-party platform want to plug into the system that you have set up. We have a system that can allow them to take a little cut out of the whole economy as well.
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
ครับ
All right, Pam, so what is Acura and what do you do exactly for game developers?
So we are mainly a game publisher focusing in Southeast Asia. We provide hosting. We have servers in the region. We also provide payment gateways, and we are building an esports tournament platform. So as a publisher and also the first third-party platform to plug into the HOT ecosystem, what we can provide to the game developers is access to players already exist in our system, which means we reduce friction in player acquisition.
That sounds pretty cool. And you mentioned about physical server in the region. You're talking about the whole Southeast Asia that you will put server in each country.
Yes. So most major games, they put the servers outside of the country where players exist. For us, we put the server next to the player, which means we can provide the lowest latency and the best bandwidth. We are also backed by the only ops team in the region that can provide business level SLAs.
Oh, that's the best news yet for game developers, isn't it? Okay, and what about the payment gateway? How do you deal with that aspect?
Yeah, so we will integrate with the local payment gateways that the players are already using, which makes it convenient for them. And also it makes it easier for the business side and the technical side.
And you did mention an esports platform. So are you providing the esports service tournament, anything like that? So can you elaborate on that a little bit?
So our esports tournament platform will allow clubs and individuals to set up challenges between themselves. Also, big name sponsors can organize a larger scale tournament. They can provide prizes in terms of in-game assets or real-world assets. And games themselves can integrate to our system to provide automatic scoring in the tournament. And for players, we keep track of their performances and ranking so that later on we can provide better matchmaking suggestion.
Wow, that sounds like a dream come true for anything esport or any party that want to get involved in this esport ecosystem, which is right now, I believe, is the fastest growing sector in the gaming industry.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you think that there is any other platform in the market right now that's doing exactly what you're providing?
No, I don't think there is one yet.
Fabulous. Okay, this is $1 million questions. When does the platform go live?
Okay, so we are already hosting the first AAA game in Thailand developed by Thais. And for payment gateways and the esports tournament platform, that's going to come in Q2 of this year.
Well, you hear that, guys. We have a lot of developments coming in Q2, and 2019 surely is going to be busy. I hope you enjoy our update. And for more details and information, check us out here. Or you can follow us on the Hot Token Telegram group. And I will see you next time.